Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up.
Hello and happy Friday. Man, do I love a Friday, y'all. How's everyone feeling today? I did not wear a hat. Shoot. I've already ruined it.
Your hair looks good, though.
Thanks, Lou. Shut up, Chandler. All right, we got a lot to get to today. We also have Trevor Ariza coming on here in a little bit, but we're going to start with the late game last night. Fun times. How about these Magic, you guys? Franz Wagner just with a late game moment. Late in the fourth, 119-118 is your final. He finished with 37, 6, and 11. AD had 39 points. LeBron with 31, 10, and 7. The Magic have won 7 of their last 8. Reminder, no Paolo Banchero right now. And Franz Wagner's got 30-plus points in what? 4 of his last 6 games? Chandler, what's going on? Disrupting the East, I say.
First of all, I can only imagine what I would have been doing last night if I was Franz Wagner and I hit that shot in LA at Crypto. What a shot. I love.
Does it have anything to do with your dance moves yesterday? Because I feel like that.
What would you have done?
First of all, I love going for the 3 on the road. I love that shot. That was impressive. Just we're going to win or lose with our best player on the floor taking this shot. And listen, the Magic disruptors, 1000%. Now, is it fair to say they're contenders this year? I don't think that's fair, but this is a fun team that's up and coming. And you have to look no further than Jamal Mosley. What he's done with this team, what he's done with this franchise, he's completely changed it. He's given the whole entire city energy. They thought they were kind of nuts drafting Paolo, number 1. He turned out to be Rookie of the Year and an absolute stud. Franz Wagner is on his way to his first All-Star this year. You can go ahead and book that. This kid is an absolute stud. He's 6'10". He can do it all. He's one of these stars that's low maintenance, that he's never going to take a bad shot, almost it's a good thing because he doesn't really have that creation yet. Doesn't really have that KD kind of one-on-one go get a bucket. He just plays the right way. He cuts, he moves. He's taller than you think. The dude is legitimately 6'10". But yeah, this team is awesome. They had great pickups like KCP. Jonathan Isaacs is healthy. Things are going really, really well for this team. So yeah, disruptors, they're going to ruin a lot of good teams' nights. They're going to win a lot of games just on playing hard. Look at this roster. They have half the talent that like a Milwaukee has, that a Philly has. But you know what? They're bought into Jamal Mosley. They have 2 up-and-coming studs. Everyone look at us, the Magic, crazy for giving Jalen Suggs $150 million. That dude knows his role. He plays defense. He plays within their offense. So they got, just to me, when I watch this team, they're not the most talented team, but they play hard and they're bought into whatever Jamal Mosley is telling them to do.
Sold, Lou. You agree?
Yeah, I gotta agree with him. You know, nights like this reminds you of how good that young team can be, you know, especially with some of their stars being out. And by the way, you mentioned KCP, man. KCP always finds himself at the right place at the right time. Whether it's the Lakers run or the Denver run, and now he's there with this young Orlando team and they're making it happen. But, you know, like Chandler said, you know, Franz, he's leading his team right now with everything that's going on in Orlando, and he's making the most of his opportunities. And last night was a great game for him, especially on a national stage when you play a Los Angeles Lakers. That's like a coming out party, you know? So I agree with Chandler. I'm sure them guys tore the city up somewhere in LA last night, but they definitely can be this.
And you know what? And you know what's crazy? In such an offensive-minded league, this team is pretty much bottom 5 in all offensive categories, but they're number 2 in defense. So it's nice to see that you can actually still have success and still win games playing hard and playing defense. That just doesn't happen anymore. So this team, like I said, they are bought in. And this is all without their best player, who's an absolute stud. Who, by the way, said he's coming back before Christmas. So this team is on the rise. This is a team I don't want to see. They're nasty.
This is fun. This is fun to watch. I like the young teams that are scrappy, but we had to look at the Lakers for a second. They had been on a nice run there, but the Anthony Davis missed free throws is where we want to focus here for a second, Lou, because he had a chance, right? He missed both of them, and that's what eventually led to the Franz Wagner shot that sealed it up. But he's missed clutch free throws in the past. This wouldn't be the first time we discussed this. Talk to me about how the psychology. He's 7th on the team in free throw percentage, 7th on his own team. How does this happen?
Well, honestly, to me, they got really good free throw shooters. You know, before last night, he was shooting 80%, you know, so is he somebody you will give that ball to when the game is on the line? Absolutely. I mean, he got you there in the first place. He had 39 And like you said, he's 7th in free throw percentage, but, you know, granted, he missed 3 late in this basketball game, but it's also a game where he made 10. He was 10 from 13 from the line. He smoked the 2 that would have won him the game, the ones that were the most meaningful. Other than that, you absolutely give him the ball. You know, we got this term in basketball, when you get to 38, get to 39, and you're so close to a 40. For whatever reason, it just gets a little shaky. It feels a little funny when you're trying to get that 40 ball, especially when you're trying to get it at the free throw line. He ran from the 40. And I know emotional fans, they hate to hear it, but this is nothing but a bad moment. You know, we can look at a bigger picture and say, oh, he's not clutch, he's not this, he's not that. At the end of the day, the dude almost had a 40-point game and willed you to a win. If he makes a free throw, makes 2 free throws, he put this thing to bed. So 9 times out of 10, I'm going right back to him. I'm giving him the ball. You chalk this up as a bad night. That's why we love this game. Everything is cause and effect. It's unpredictable. You know, you can't predict him missing 2 free throws and Franz Wagner going out there and making a big 3 and it being his night, you know? So every once in a while, our superstars, they remind us that they're human and they miss shots and they miss big moments and free throws like anybody else. But I don't chalk this up as anything other than him missing 2 free throws, move on to the next game.
Yeah. Isn't the league funny that if Wagner doesn't hit that shot, we're talking about how good AD played and he carried their team with 30 points. Like, if you're the Lakers, what more do you want? You live and die with Anthony Davis going to the free throw line to ice the game. Your best player on the line, the game on the line, like you live with that. Like that is, and I'm sure Anthony Davis feels horrible. I'm sure he stayed after and shot free throws, and this has been a little bit of a trend, but you can't ask for much more if you're JJ or if you're the Lakers. Your best player is on the line with a chance to ice, and they got daggered by a tough shot by an up and coming star who rose to the occasion. But this is just, you just kind of chalk this one up to you let one get away. What's more frustrating is that the Magic, they are younger and they are explosive, but they were on a back-to-back. The Lakers weren't. You kind of felt like they had the pop early on, which that's a whole nother story. But you can't ask for much more if you're the Lakers in this situation.
You know what? And something was in the water last night, Chandler. I don't know if y'all saw the St. John's Butler game. Same exact scenario. Kid smokes 2 free throws, they throw it down the court, then he makes a 3 to win the game. Whatever was in the water last night with the free throw gods, it didn't go the Lakers' way and it didn't go St. John's way.
Free throws are annoying. I'll just say it right there. Can we talk JJ Redick for a second? After this one, he said he was going to a, quote, dark place, meaning his basement. He's going to go watch game film and do all the fun stuff that coaches do. Somebody asked LeBron whether or not this type of intensity is sustainable. He laughed it off. It does sound much more intense than it probably needs to be. Lou, what'd you make of it?
I think it's funny. Listen, at the end of the day, he's fresh off of TV, so he's saying some of these tongue-in-cheek things, and we're holding on to him. And he's starting to understand, as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, these comments and these things that he's saying in jest are taken seriously, and they're going to be reported on. You know, and as a player, he was intense. This is how he was when he was a player. Now, is it going to be sustainable as a head coach? It depends on the personality of your team. It depends on the flow and the groove of what's to be. You know, LeBron is trying to let you in on something. He's laughing it off. He's saying it's not a big deal. Your coach is saying, I'm going to a dark place and I'm going to watch game film. They got to meet in the middle somewhere to create a personality for this team. But other than that, listen, you're talking about grown men. You're also talking about grown men who have competed alongside and against JJ Redick. So the line of respect and putting his personality on this team and meeting some of these guys in the middle, that's gonna be the one thing that's gonna have to be sustainable. They're just gonna have to find middle ground with the personality of this team moving forward.
And this is normal, right? This is just a story because it's the Lakers and it's JJ Redick and he's a new coach. This is what coaches do. They get to the iPad in the locker room before the bus. On the bus, they're breaking down film. On the plane, they're bringing players back to their seat to kind of go over things that, infuriated them during the game. So this is completely normal. This isn't a story. JJ Redick, this is a good thing. He's a young up-and-coming coach that is obsessed and he's addicted to learning and growing and getting better. So most coaches, they do this. And again, they don't wait, and they've watched the game 4 or 5 times by the time next day comes around and they watch it with the team. So this is pretty normal behavior from a head coach, in my opinion.
I can't imagine thinking it's bad.
Yeah. And listen, Beadle, by the time the next day comes in practice, He's watched it so much. He's identified what's happened. He's identified the problems, what went wrong, where they can get better. So his attitude is going to be a lot different the next day than right after the game, where you're emotional. You know, your adrenaline is still running high. You're still trying to figure out what happened. And then 10 minutes after the game, they're telling you to go speak to press. And then you get comments. You get comments like this 10 minutes after, you know, an intense basketball game, that if your star player makes 2 free throws, it's a completely different scenario, you know? So this is all normal stuff in the NBA. And like Chandler just said, you know, by the time he gets on that bus or gets home, he's watched it 4 or 5 times. He probably get home, get to that dark place, see his family, see his kids, and he's going to chill out a little bit and go into the next day and try to make the Los Angeles Lakers better because of that.
The basement. We got some good video. LeBron had a couple of moments that were just silly. I really don't have any more words. It's silly.
Oh,
what's happening here?
I mean, this is crazy. He continues to do things like this. He continues to mesmerize us. And that's why if you're the Lakers, listen, if you would have told the Lakers that they are healthy and they are 10-5 and 4th in the Western Conference 15 games into this season, they would take it and run with it. There's obviously going to be hiccups along the way. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be, you know, different things that they go through, that every team goes through. But when you have LeBron playing at the level he's playing at, when you have Anthony playing at MVP level, when you get the 17th pick, Dalton Knecht, that is just an absolute sniper that is playing more confident than most seasoned vets. This team is just fine. Like I said, if you would have told them 10-5 and a top 4, top 5 team right now, they would take that 10 times out of 10.
Salute to Bron, because once your bench starts reacting like that, you have officially reached grandpa mode. I remember playing for the Hawks, and I had 2 dunks on the season. When you can start counting your dunks, that's when you know that you're at the beginning of the end. When your bench start going crazy like that, when you dunk, Bron, you don't reach grandpa years, man. So salute to you for being 39, 40 years old and still bringing the excitement for those young players to feel like that and get up and cheer for you like that. That's amazing.
Yeah, they were having a moment. Moving on, T-Wolves in Toronto. I don't know what it is about Toronto, but Minnesota does not like playing there. 20th straight loss. Most memorable moment, however, is this. Rudy Gobert under the basket. Randall doesn't pass him the ball. He's not happy. Gets called for a 3-second violation, and rightfully so. Edwards is angry about this. Somebody talk to me. What am I even looking at here, Lou?
This makes me laugh, right? You're seeing a lot of things. So to me, they're just adjusting and they're just competing at the same time. A lot of factors at play here. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Like Rudy felt he had a favorable matchup in the paint. Julius Randle felt like one-on-one he could probably take his guy. And Anthony Edwards is sitting there like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, listen, if I'm Julius Randle, Julius Randle, he has the reputation of kind of over dribbling sometimes, taking too long with his decision making. And then also at the same time, you got Rudy Gobert posting up, and it's like, bro, we don't respect that part of your bag. You haven't established that part of your bag for me to want to throw this ball in there, especially with a Scotty Barnes guarding you in the lane, where he can either use his hands to strip or meet you at the rim. Like, I don't know you much to be a post-up guy. And so for you to get upset for him not throwing that basketball is incredible. And for him to not throw the basketball is equally as incredible. Like, what are y'all doing? And so the one person that understands the frustration of both guys is Anthony Edwards. He's like, what the hell? Like, we're trying to win a basketball game here. So a lot of things can be true at the same time. A lot of different nuances with the Minnesota Timberwolves in this new trade, but they're going to have to work through this.
Yeah, this is childish. This is unacceptable at every single level. And this is,
I was trying to say it nice, Taylor.
This isn't even okay to happen in like a high school game. And you could tell there's some built up frustration here. Like, this has clearly happened before. Rudy feels like that's his time to get the ball. Like Lou said, Scotty Barnes, it's not like he had a point guard on him. He had a 6'9", like, versatile defender on him. So I understand where the frustration is, but at the end of the day, you know how bad this looks. And Chris Finch basically is going to, I know Finch, Rudy Gobert quit on their team on this play. And the coaches talk about how important every possession is, especially a game in Toronto or a game you should win. This is a wasted possession over just a lack of focus, a lack of maturity. This is a YMCA kids take your ball and go home. You cannot do this. You cannot do this if you're Rudy Gobert. And he knows this. Like, he's got to be so embarrassed nowadays with social media and everything that's,
Is
was
he?
shown last night. He has to
Does
be
he?
because, again, I find it somewhat funny, but then when I really think about it, I'm like, dude kind of just quit on his team. Like, this is
You don't
unacceptable.
see it both ways?
Huh?
Like, if I see it both ways. Like, if I'm ducking in, sure. Like, Chandler, you've played with guys that every once in a while they put you in a position like, bro, why are you putting me in this position? Like, why are you posting up?
Oh,
And
no.
either I got to look you off, or I got to look you in your eyes and say, no, like, I'm not throwing this basketball. So I saw it both ways.
First of all, Lou, I play with teammates that if they were missed the possession before, they'll purposely not take the shot the next possession because they're so salty and so shitty that they got missed the possession before. Like, dudes are petty. So this is
I don't
nothing
like
new.
that.
Oh, I'm saying on a struggling team with a new addition, like, how this probably makes Julius Randle feel, who's new to this team, who's new to, like, as a leader and
I
as
don't
a
love
vet.
it.
Rudy Gobert, you can't do this. It's unacceptable. You can't do this at any level of basketball. This is pathetic. I hate it, and you can't let it happen again.
I think we love that it's Rudy Gobert. He's an easy target, and
I love
everyone.
Anthony Edwards. I love
have fun.
Anthony Edwards' reaction when he was like, he almost like he was trying to hold himself, like he was so confused. Like, what the hell are we doing, bro? Like,
No poker face. None.
Like, he was just so annoyed. He was so annoyed by the fact that he just did that.
And look, here's the story of it all. That's a 5-point loss. That's a big possession right there. Like, they got to tighten up the screws on what they're doing in Minnesota. Push come to shove, give the ball to Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle. Be more precise with what your decision making. Stop dribbling right there and listen. Straight line attack. Force him to jump into that dunker. Force him to clear the lane out. Don't just sit there and dribble. And Rudy, don't sit there and pout. Both guys are wrong in this situation. They got to get better.
And you mentioned it, Lou. It's not like this is Rudy's game, right? It's not like his expertise. He is a defensive player of the year. He is a shot blocker. He is a rebounder. He disrupts teams' offense. Like, yeah, sure. Does he think he kind of earned the right to get a little touchdown there on a duck in like that? Maybe get to the freezer line? Sure. But he's got to be at this point of his career. He knows that's not his specialty. That's not what he does best. And the new guy on the offense that clearly is struggling, taking time to adjust. The team is hurting. You can't act like that. Like that. If I'm Julius Randle, I'm like, damn, this is how, like, I missed the dude one time. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, it's just a bad look. And it's pretty embarrassing.
I think Julius Randle probably feels about Rudy Gobert like many people probably feel about Rudy Gobert. He knows. He knows. The internet is it's available and free for everybody. Shall we preview some stuff? I think we should preview some stuff because the cup's back, y'all. Hey, Pacers at Bucks. 4 of their last 5. That's what Indy's lost so far. They'll be 0-2 in the cup if they go out there today and throw up an L. I don't know how you're feeling about panicking on the Pacers because I don't know realistically what the expectations were, Lou. But where are we on that?
No, we're not panicking. I mean, what is their record? 6-9? They just as good as anybody else in the East right now at 6-9. So, yeah, we're not panicking. You know, obviously you would like to see them play more consistently, you know, with the hopes of the team that they built together. You know, they put Pascal Siakam out there and Tyrese Halliburton and you got Miles Turner. That was their version of their big 3 that was going to work for the Indiana Pacers. And it just hadn't been the consistent matchup that you've wanted as a fan of the Indiana Pacers and the things that they were able to build last year. It just feels like they haven't been able to consistently ride that through. And I think some of that is just growing pains and expectations. You know, you look at a Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's adjusting to fame. He's adjusting to stardom. You know, you got to show him some grace. The big difference from being an up-and-coming superstar, an up-and-coming all-star, to accomplishing those things, to being an all-star, to being an Olympian. And, you know, sometimes different guys, they adjust to that differently. And I think he's growing into a new role that he hasn't had before. You know, coming from SAC and trying to find his footing in this league to being the face of a franchise, it's a completely different set of shoes to wear. You know what I'm saying? So some make it to perennial status, and some of these guys are 1 or 2 timers and they're done. They're done being all-stars. You know, I think he's still writing his story out. But to me, I chalk it up as him just adjusting to the new level of stardom, and he got to live up to it. He got to live up to the expectations.
Yeah, and I got a couple of things here. Like, I know they had a hot season last year. They played well in the play-in tournament or the NBA Cup. But what's a fair expectation for this team? You know what I mean? Like, where do we want them to be? Where do we expect them to be? So is there a little concern? Sure. Are we concerned about Tyrese Haliburton? Let me tell you something. I spent some time with him this summer. The dude is an awesome dude. I actually FaceTimed with him the other day. Drew Hanlon was with him. He's breaking down film at night. Like he's definitely struggling. He's definitely frustrated. He's trying to figure out ways to do it. But isn't this also the same way that we were praising him last year, that he's one of these vintage old school point guards that's a setup guy, that's not just one of these jacking scoring guards? This is what he does. Now, the concern to me is that he's shooting 28% from the three. And when you have the usage rate that he does, he's that good where he should be averaging 11, 12, 13 assists a game to 1 turnover. Like, he is that type of player where he has that potential. So his numbers are low across the board. And I do think he needs to be more aggressive. Carlisle puts him in great situations. They're up tempo. He's great in pick and roll. But this is what makes him kind of him in my eyes. He's not one of these Jalen Brunson, aggressive scoring type guys that's going to put pressure on you downhill. He is what I call like an old school setup point guard that takes care of the ball, that makes the right play, and that is always getting guys in the right spot. He's a floor general to me. So when I see his points down, that doesn't really bother me. Yeah, I'd like him to take over. I'd like him to be a little bit more efficient. I would just like to see him get his assist up. Obviously, that's his teammates knocking down shots. That's getting them in better, direction, whatever that may be. But he's good enough to be leading the NBA in assists, and an 8 assist a game is not cutting it.
Yeah.
I'm a little, so you just FaceTime buddies? Like, that's just like a thing?
You know what? Drew Hanlon, the trainer, he FaceTimed me. I didn't answer, and I FaceTimed and I called him back, and he was going through all these numbers, and he was with Tyrese Haliburton, like really watching film on his iPad, like at home. Like, so the kid's working. I know that, and he's definitely frustrated, and he's a great dude. And I think last year, again, they had such almost a surprise success last year that we put this pressure and expectation on this team, which really isn't fair. Like, so I'd like to see.
I don't think so.
See, that's where we're gonna differ, Chandler. So when you show up to the NBA Cup and you're making big shots and you feel like you're on that big national stage and you're telling people it's our time now, you got to live up to that. You got to live up to now. If they're going about their business like an OKC where they're winning and we're going to do team interviews, we're going to shut up, we're going to mind our business, whatever we do. Look at how much grace we give them. Oh, they got time. They're young. They're this, they're that. But when you're saying it's my time and you point at your wrist and you're telling us you've arrived, listen, once you get on that plane, bro, you can't get off of it. You can't get off of it until they open that door back up, right? So don't tell us it's your time and it's your moment. And then once it starts not going your way, we're still trying to work through it. It's like, no, there comes responsibility with the confidence and knowing that you're one of the top players. That's my only thing with that.
Yeah. And the East is wide open, where I do think this team can figure it out and they can win games. But like, my point was, before the season, I didn't think they were going to be better than Philly, which they are. So I was wrong on that. I didn't think they're going to be better than Milwaukee, New York. I thought they're going to be right there in the middle of the pack with Orlando and Cleveland, which, to be honest, is exactly where they are. So again, I do think Tyrese can be better. I think everybody on that team can be better. I think last year they gave us a little taste of how good they can be. And it almost feels like they took a step back, like Minnesota did, like Dallas looks to, you know what I mean? So there are certain teams. They gave us a little bit last year. We were like, damn, this team's for real. And now they've gotten off to a bit of a slow start. But again, panicking, I'm not panicking. I just think that they're going to figure it out with Rick Carlisle, with the offense, with the pieces they have, and the Eastern Conference. They're going to be right in the middle, which is right where we thought they'd be.
There's definitely a lightning in the bottle aspect too. I think a little bit for the Pacers last year. Like I don't know if they were on top tier. Like, just like, oh, what? Okay, it's not shocking. Let's talk Bucks though, because
that's the only thing. They owned it. They loved it.
That's I get that. Like, the fact that they leaned in as if they had every expectation to be there, I guess is why we're like, well, now what? 4 of their last 5, that's what the Bucks have won. We're looking at the cup stuff now. So if they win tonight, they're going to be in the driver's seat in their pool, which is Pool B in the East. 10th best odds right now at plus 1,500 to win the cup. I mean, that's worth a couple bucks, right, Chandler? Why not?
Oh yeah, and isn't it what a difference a week makes? We had guests on last week that were saying they're dumpster fire. They're the same as Philly. Like this team is 1 week away, and now they're right there. They are in the driver's seat, and what a confidence boost that would be to win this and play the NBA Cup, to advance to Vegas. That just exactly what this team needs. So again, when you have a healthy Giannis, you have a healthy Damian Lillard, I'm never able to write you off. You knew Lopez was struggling from three. He was going to figure it out. They made some tweaks with the starting lineup. So they did, Doc. I got to give him credit. He made some adjustments with nothing wasn't working. He made some adjustments with rotations, with the starting lineup, with some of their defensive schemes. So, and again, I keep saying Chris Middleton's coming. I don't know when he's coming, but he's coming back. So this team is definitely on the up, and I do like them. I like them to cover tonight, and I like them to advance in this bracket.
To cover and go. All right. Lou, we're going to put $10 on it. I know you hate when I do $10 bets, but Lou's frozen. No, come back to us, buddy. All right, we'll keep it moving. Mavs and Nuggets. This one, man, this one's got a bit of a bummer to it because there's no Luka. He's got the wrist injury. I can't look at him. Kyrie and Klay, obviously, they're plenty. Like, this should not be just a foregone conclusion because potentially also no Jokic on the personal matter side. So let's just look at Klay and Kyrie for a second, Chandler. Who are we expecting the bigger game out of?
It's got to be Kyrie Irving to me, right? He's been there before. The ball's going to be in his hands. He's done it before at the highest level, right? Kyrie Irving is one of the greatest scorers that we've ever seen. He has the ball on a string. He's an outrageous, jump shooter. He's an insane finisher, probably the best ever. The way he finishes, it's unbelievable. So with Luka out, I do like him to step up. But to me, it's one of those three guards that I mentioned yesterday. It's Dinwiddie, it's Hardy, and it's Grimes. Those three guys, two of them have got to give me double digits. You know you're going to have Klay at least attempting 8 to 12 threes a game. You know what you're going to get from PJ Washington, and their bigs are going to kind of rotate in and out and help with rebounding and block shots. But to me, it's got to be one of those guards. And I think it should be Spencer Dinwiddie. He's a year removed from being a 15-point-a-game guy. He still has it. He's healthy. So with Luka out, that's a huge hole, obviously, in their offense. I expect Kyrie to be extremely aggressive. But also on the flip side, Denver's going to double him. They're going to blitz him. They're going to trap him. He is going to be guarded like Devin Booker is guarded in Phoenix without Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. They are not going to make it easy. They're going to make somebody else beat them. So to me, it's got to be one or two of those guards that have got to step up because the opportunity is there.
So let's focus a little bit on the Denver side because, we haven't seen Jokic in a few games now with the personal matters, and we know what they look like without him. So it's an interesting sort of matchup tonight. Both teams potentially without their best player. Is Denver in a worse situation because Jokic could be out?
Yes, 1,000%, because they don't have Kyrie Irving, and Jamal Murray has had those struggles, and Aaron Gordon being out is another huge hole that you can't replace. The role that he's found there, it's been a perfect fit. He's one of the more versatile players offensively and defensively. So when I look to the Mavs roster, I think it's a deeper roster. I think their guard play is much better. And I think Kyrie Irving is the second best player, or the best player with those two guys, Jokic and Luka, out. So I do think the Mavs are in a better spot. Listen, the Denver Nuggets aren't going anywhere. They're going to play hard. They're going to put themselves in position to win this game. I just think the Mavs are better off with a Kyrie Irving, with a Klay Thompson, with a PJ Washington. They have more pieces to kind of step up in Luka's absence.
Man, this one on paper when the season started was like, this is a must watch. And it's a bit of a bummer now tonight.
And you know what, and Mavs had a great year last year. They went to the finals, they went on this huge run, but for some, I still feel like people kind of doubt them a little bit. They don't think they're looking at OKC.
I think they're like the Pacers. I think they're like the Pacers.
They're very close to that Pacers category where it's like, I think last year wasn't fool's gold by any means. Like, they definitely have the team to compete. I just feel like when you have that great of a season, there's pressure and there's expectations. Like Minnesota, I think they had such a good year last year. They make a move. I think they got a little bit worse. So teams figure out, they game plan you differently. So I don't think they got worse. I just think teams are more balanced in the Western Conference. And I think it's going to be a lot harder to get back to the finals than it was for them last year.
Yeah, they're not like a Celtics team that comes in with all expectations to just repeat. That's not how they got there, and that's not how we thought of them.
Honestly, I don't remember a season in a long time where it's just like, okay, fast forward to June and it's Boston and it's OKC. Like, I can't help but just think that. You know what I mean? I really can't.
Nope. We got to take a quick break. When we come back. Phew, that was good. Fitter break. Never again. Never again. Fitter break next. City Connect. Oh, here we go. Okay, guys, this is it. Memphis is up. I like the font.
I'm digging it.
I like it. I like the whole vibe that's going on in this.
I don't hate it. I don't love it.
It's like the Memphis
Should we be
Blues,
rating
Chandler.
these?
It's like Memphis Blues, Bill Street. I'm digging it. It's
I like it.
consistent. Yeah.
All right, so I'm
so
gonna give that
much.
one a.
He can't say anything positive about Memphis.
He really can't. That was actually a pretty good jersey.
I
We
don't
should be
like this
rating
one
them.
either. I don't like this either.
Okay, wait, what don't you like? Let's try to break this down.
First of all, it's
I don't
glow in the
like
dark.
it either.
It's glow in the dark. It's
I'll
like
give you
what? It's a little childish, bright. It's too much.
Okay. Oh, I don't think you're gonna like the next one then.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't like it because I like my Celtics jerseys classic.
Yeah, I think I do too. How about San Antonio City Connect?
I kinda like
Hemisphere
this one.
vibes.
I'm a
I kinda
sucker
like
for
it for
baby.
y'all.
I'm a sucker for baby blue. I think it's simple. It's clean. I like this one.
Yeah, we win. We're winning. All right, let's see. Okay.
I like these.
I kind
I
of
like
like
the court
this.
they went with these too. You saw the court as well, didn't you, Chandler?
Oh, yeah, you were there, weren't you?
I like the tan. I like the tan and the light. Like I like that color a lot.
Yeah.
I like that color a lot. I will say, last night, these are for.
These are fire.
Oh,
Fire to me.
Whoa! Okay,
Fire.
see, I don't like the ombre, the coloring, the boop 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 boop.
it is an
Yeah.
offer.
I always listen. When I was a kid, I always wanted the Lakers to have a black jersey, so that's fire to me. Now these are
that I
fire.
get.
for me.
Winner,
This is
winner.
perfect. No
And
notes.
did you see the court? The court last
Yeah.
night. They need to keep
I
that
know.
full time. The court is unbelievable. This is the best.
I saw Vince Carter posting about it because it was just like it's unreal. It's just a real moment. It's cool.
I might even order one. I might. You know what? I love those.
Okay, no,
No.
we got to stop with the culture.
Man.
The culture's dead right now, so you can't lean in. Like
Culture is no bueno.
no, just no. All right, so Toronto's winning. San Antonio just got Jazz. Let me see. Why am I nervous? Like I don't care what this is gonna look like. Well, maybe we don't. I don't know.
Oh, no, these are nice.
You're fire.
They look like the regular ones. Am I tripping?
I was gonna
Regular.
say, is this really over the top at all? Like, it looks kind of. It's like throwbacky, I guess.
Yeah, I put these right there with the San Antonio one. These are nice. These are clean.
I'm rolling.
No. Okay, Chandler, King of Orlando. What say you?
It's a little busy. It's a little busy.
I knew he was gonna say busy.
It's a lot of busy. It's a lot
No.
of busy.
No, I don't love it.
I don't like it. I don't like that one. It's the same. This is like the other one.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
No.
These look like Universal
Damn.
Studios made these. Nickelodeon.
Oh, now that is rude. I like that, Lou. That was catty.
Not it.
Okay, give me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, this is no.
What does it say?
It's the 5280
That's the
mile
altitude.
high.
No.
That's
these
my
are
least
the-
favorite one.
Yeah, these are tough.
We're just doing,
These are not-
this
these
to
are
the
not-
last. All right, so I guess Toronto seems to have won the Fitterbrick City Connect edition. Well done, Toronto. Well done. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Trevor Ariza joins the show.
The running back, run it up.
When I wake up and look in the mirror, I'm looking at a winner and looking at the champ.
Oh, he's a champion, an 18-year vet of the league. Trevor Ariza joins us now. Trevor, welcome. First of all, you want to go down memory lane? We're going to go way back, way back. 19
What's
years
good?
old. Yeah. I like the old stories. Drafted to the Knicks. Can we talk about the roster that you walked into? You had Penny Hardaway, Stephon Marbury, Allen Houston, Jamal Crawford, Vin Baker. It's like a
Damn.
crazy list of men. I know.
Vin Baker.
What was that?
But make it bake.
What was that like
Man.
walking in as a 19-year-old?
Man, that's like eye opener, especially back then, because no social media. You only got the myths and the legends of these players, So walking into players that are legends, you starstruck low key. So it's like, damn, I can't believe I'm sitting next to Penny Hardaway, and damn, that's Starberry over there, man. That's the Vindicator over there, man. So it's like, man, it's an experience.
Do you have a favorite memory that stands out from your rookie year?
A favorite memory that's
Yeah.
got us Spartan, the little schnauzer be barking his little ass off.
Oh, that's all right. We all have them.
Oh, these are school hours, ain't it? It's school hours out there.
Man, it's school time.
Gotta
Yeah.
get it
No,
done.
my favorite memory that I could think of right now probably is just so I got drafted. Then I go to New York and I'm playing in this charity game. I think it's called the Wheelchair Classic. And Stephon Marbury rolls up in the gym. I've never met him before. And at this time, I never met him. I never spoke to him. I never anything. And he just grabs me and hugs me and tells me, yo, you're going to be big for us this year. And just that alone gave me like the world of confidence to come in and contribute in the ways that I could contribute.
Yeah, after that Knicks run, man, you went down to a Magic team that featured Dwight, Grant Hill, Rashard Lewis, Hedo Turkoglu, Jameer Nelson, Lakers head coach JJ Redick. Man, you played with a lot of people, but what were those years like playing with a prime Dwight Howard at that time?
Man, to be honest with you, I don't even think when I got there he made it to his prime yet. We were drafted in the same year, and I think this was his second or third year, but you can just see like the dominance in him. And when I got there, the head coach was Brian Hill, who allowed him to, play his offensive game and, kind of grow into the person he was. But then Stan Van Gundy came, and Stan demanded a lot from Dwight. And just the expectations that Stan had for him made Dwight into a stone cold dog. He was every second time down the court, he had to have a rebound. Every second or third time down the court, he had to have a touch on the offensive end. So it just made sure that he was always engaged and always involved. So Dwight was a monster.
Trevor, being from Orlando, I love those squads. I used to go to all the games. Man, that was a hell of a team. Lou mentioned JJ Redick. Now, when you played with him, did you see signs of him becoming an NBA coach one day, or is he just another classic, obnoxious dookie that you had to play with?
JJ is, I think I wrote it under a post the other day. He's like the perfect asshole, and what I mean by that is he's so confident in what he does because of the preparation that he has or that he had as a player, that he's confident in his ability to get anything done. And as a player, as a teammate, you attract to guys who put in the work and are confident, but as a coach, you trust guys who put in that much more work and doesn't waver and show you that same confidence. So I think he's great. I think he's just what the Lakers need. And going forward, as he gets, more games under his belt, he gets into more situations, I just think he's going to get better.
Chandler, both things can be true. You can be great to be a head coach and an obnoxious dookie. It could just be
yeah, they go hand in hand.
I think it's totally the same. You were traded to a Kobe-led Lakers squad. They get Pau Gasol. Kobe texts a blueprint, basically, like this is the road to the championship. What does that kind of a blueprint look like? What'd he say?
Man, so we lost in Boston, and everybody was pretty emotional about it. We all went into Kobe's room. Those type of players have the big, huge suite, so everybody can fit in there. So we all go into his room, have a couple laughs, talk about the season, talking about next year. And when we get to the plane, me and him sit right next to each other. No, he sat one seat behind me. And, we were just talking. He said, in 2 days, I'm going to send you exactly what you need to do for us to get better. And he sent me like a paragraph of like 9 things that I needed to work on and do every single day. And I did them every single day. The check-in is like, at the semester at 10 weeks, I need you to come up here and see what we're doing so I can check your progress. So he would call me out to Newport Beach to come work out with him at like 4:30. And he would just check my temperature to see if I was, doing the things that he sent me. And, once he saw that I was doing them, I think it gave him the confidence in me to be a running mate of his.
Man, that would just never happen. That would just never happen these days. There's no one like him.
I mean, we don't have vets like that. We don't have vets at all really in the league anymore. So it's kind of hard to understand that mentality when, you know, you're the one that's hadn't been teaching it and nobody taught you.
Yeah, T.A., I was going to say that should tell you everything you need to know about how he felt about our group, because we ain't get no texts. We ain't have no meetings. He didn't feel like we had that potential at all, man. What's some of your favorite moments with 2-4 on and off the court?
Man, my favorite moments probably were in practice. You know, when you get a chance to compete against somebody who's that good every single day, you have no choice but to get better. What would you call it? Barbecue or mildew? You know what I mean? And I like to barbecue. So, you know, I'm going to try to soak up all the information that I can. And just, you know, the time off the court, it was more so, you know, we'll be at dinner. We'll go to the movies and stuff. We'll talk about things that had completely nothing to do with basketball. But on the court or in the weight room or at practice, that's when we were able to compete against each other and, you know, push each other to the limits.
So, Trevor, you do get traded to the Lakers from that Magic team, and then you end up smacking them 4-1 in the NBA Finals. How much of an advantage was that, just coming from that offense, from that, you know, that franchise, and then playing them in the final? Do you feel like you knew everything was happening, or what was that like?
Well, that Magic team was a really good team, and they were well coached. And the year before, I don't think they thought that I wasn't good enough. I just didn't think they thought that I fit into their system. And I took that shit personal. Like, I took it real personal, that the fact that I wasn't in their plans on how to be, you know, or in their plans of being a player that they thought that could help. So anytime I got an opportunity to play against them, I was trying to just rip everybody's throat out. And that's the only thing that I could think about, was beating them to the spot, being more aggressive. The things that I learned from them, use it against them. It's kind of like the Spook by the Door, you know, the book Spook by the Door. Get in there, infiltrate, and then go use their shit against them.
Look, you had a great run in Houston as well, and eventually, you know, we played a few minutes together out of Houston, spent a little time. Yeah, a little cup of coffee during them prime Harden years, man. Did y'all have, or I should say did we have more fun on or off the court during those years?
Wow.
That's a hard one to, man. I don't even know if I think we had just as much fun off the court as we had on the court. And that year, like you said, Lewis, or during that time, man, we was top 5 in offense, and I think top 5 in defense too. And, you know, as much fun as we had, you know, winning those games and everybody showing their talents and it working all together, I think, you know, we had just as much fun showing our talents off the court too.
You know what I just took from that? Chandler Parsons leaves Houston, Trevor Ariza goes to Houston. You guys become a top 5 offense and defense. It checks out.
Man, you know what, Chandler, I wish you would have stayed and we got a chance to play together, because, you know, we probably been number 1 in offense and probably slid into top 15 on defense if you was
No
there.
doubt.
At least Chandler's listening.
That's funny.
TA, as we see James moving to number 2 in 3-point percentages and him having those crazy, incredible years down in Houston, what makes him so unguardable? What makes him so special as a player?
I mean, he's creative and he's a smart player. He knows how to use the rules to his advantage. He knows how to read defenses, and he knows how to take advantage of other players' weaknesses. If you give him an inch, you're going to take a mile in every aspect. So he's figured out how to manipulate the game to work inside the construct of the rules.
10 different franchises in your 18 years. Is there a team? Well, actually, you know what? Screw that. You can tell me if there's a team that sticks out more than the others, but then I want to know favorite city to live in, play in, and you could tell me least favorite, or Chandler could just answer for you because he's very comfortable in dissing entire cities. So take it away. Best and worst.
Well, I will have to go with 3 best. Home doesn't count. I'm not going to count LA because that's home. I've been here my whole life. So Houston, I'm going to go with DC and Miami. Those is my best.
DC, I didn't have on the
DC
poll.
Yeah.
is like that.
It's cool.
DC is great, man. I love DC. Let me think. What's the worst city? Ooh, where's the worst city that I played in? I can't even think of a worst city because they all paid me pretty good. So
There it is. That's a good answer. That's a smart answer, Trevor.
yeah, they always pretty cool.
Hey, Trevor, I got to ask you, your nickname was Switchblade. Now, how did that get started and who gave you that nickname?
I have no idea about the nicknames Switchblade. Like, I've only gone as TA or Trev or my grandfather called me Goose. But other than that, and the people that know me for a long time, they call me Goose. But yeah, I don't know too much about Switchblade. I've never really heard anybody call me that, except for fans.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so weird. So you have no idea where that even that's weird.
Yeah, I never.
Somebody let us know.
Hey, let me ask you this, TA. We've been talking a lot about the NBA Cup and the courts, the jerseys, the 500K. I was skeptical as hell about it at first because I'm like, it's kind of gimmicky. We come from a different time in the NBA where the gimmicks is frowned upon, but it's starting to grow on me. What are your thoughts about the NBA Cup and the current setup on the incentives?
The incentives is balling. If you get a chance to make more money outside of your salary, that's always a good thing. And also, the jerseys is pretty cool. Like, Houston jersey is dope. The Lakers shit is real dope. The only thing that's taking me back is the courts. The courts are nasty.
They're distracting, bro.
Disgusting. Like, I don't know, because sometimes the players are wearing the same color jersey as the court, and it's like, what the fuck is this? Like, what am I looking at?
It looks like a green screen.
I thought I ate the wrong brownies last year when I saw them the first. So straight up hallucinating watching the Celtics play the other night.
Man, that's what I was, and that's what I had in my mind when I'm thinking about the court and the jerseys. So
it's a little much, but at least we know what night it is. We're like, all right, it must be a cup night. Trevor, this has been awesome. We appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
No problem. Appreciate it. All right, bro.
Run it up, run it back, run it up, run it up, run it back.
Guys, we only have like 20 seconds. Anybody have big plans for the weekend they feel like sharing?
Where's the music?
Oh, you want the...
You know what, Michelle? I am about to fly to Florida and go to MJ's course and play at the Grove all weekend.
Wow, Chandler had like real plans. I was kind of kidding.
Come on.
We'll see you guys Monday.